Hey, everybody. We're going to give it a minute, let some people get in here. Uh, Want to welcome Stan with two stands. I'm sure everyone knows who he is. I see Tim Melita already made it in. Hey, Tim. Mike Sampson, welcome. Squirrels Magnet Fishing. Lance, uh, glad to have everybody. We'll give it a minute and see how many people pop in. Uh, got the Mountain Dew.
I it was like a minute of. I'm like, uh-oh, my Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
Can't do a show without my Mountain Dew.
I can go forever without eating, but I've got to have my fluids. Uh, I'm finally starting to get some stickers in for my backdrop. Uh, got Brian B and Skip Clearview Outdoors, and I got Hooks and Hammock behind me. I'm wanting to fill this whole backdrop with
Awesome.
stickers from everyone in our catfish community, and so far I'm slowly getting there. Uh, our catfish community is really growing. Uh, it I'm proud to see all the accomplishments people are making and see everyone growing, and it's really been great.
I agree, it shows like this that get a lot of the right information out there. All you got to do is go into any Facebook group, and you'll see some things that are just
Yeah,
like, woo.
and the
But
people are rude.
yeah, yeah. But I saw somebody the other day, and granted, you catch your fish. It's your right to do with it what you want to do with it. But man, it breaks my heart when you see like a 60 pounder with a
Yeah,
cord up on it, and they're hanging it up at the house, and
yeah.
uh,
Hey,
so I go
I
ahead.
see Hogleg Catfishing made it in, and Matt want to be outdoors. Welcome, guys. Yeah,
So what I normally do when I see that, I do it friendly, and I don't try to judge anybody. And I say, this is the same thing I just said. It's your fish. You've got the right to do with it what you want. But I just wish everybody would think about putting back your breeders, put your bigger fish back so that good genetics stays in the water you're fishing, not only for us, but for our kids and grandkids. So like I said, it's not being judged on anybody. Everybody's got the right to do what they want with the fish. I know I prefer to see it back, and it helps the future of the fish in the long run.
I see James Kirkpatrick made it in. Dale Hayslip, welcome, Dale. Kevin Baker, Twisted Fishing. Yeah, I don't get on Facebook and stuff much anymore. There's Creo, Big Mike.
Oh,
I know y'all guys haven't seen me around in the chats like normal. Guys, I'm working insane amounts of hours. I leave home at 4 o'clock in the morning and don't get home until late in the evening. Uh, I did talk with them today. Hey, William Warner, uh, sometime in the near future, a week or so, uh, I should get cut back down to where I'm just doing 60 hours a week, and that'll help. Hey, there's Brandon, Catfishing Dreams.
how's it going, Brandon?
I did get on Facebook the other day, and I seen uh, someone had caught one of them big trophy catfish, and I seen where you had been in there and posted on it. And you know, I like to see the big ones go. Uh, it's our job as kind of ambassadors for the catfish
Yes.
to kind of spread the word and help educate people because people don't know. Do you know how many people think that if you take a blue catfish and put it in a body of water and it lives, they think all catfish will grow the same size, and they don't.
Hmm.
Hey, Larry Oliver, welcome.
Not
Uh,
to mention what that does to that catfish,
yep.
and then they'll
I've
put it in bodies of water where their blues aren't supposed to live, and different things like that. So
Yep. Catmandu Outdoors, welcome. I've seen them hold them by the gills and stuff, and man, I don't like it. But you know, they caught it. They've got the right to take that fish if they want. But
And the only thing I suggest is that if we start a conversation, that you know, you don't want to judge anybody, you don't want to put anybody down. Just start an educated conversation with people, and you're probably not going to change, you know, a lot of people. But hey, if you change just one or two or just a few people, if we all did that, there'd be that many more fish, bigger fish being put back. And of course, we know we're just a small thing. There's the commercial fish and taking the big ones out, and you know, things like that. So, but I think a lot of people have talked about it before. You know that Paula Smith is one of the big pushers for that. You know, Epic and whatnot. With if the catfish was to become a game fish and be treated like a game fish, that would make a world of difference, I think.
Yep. Johnny with J&S Outdoors just made it in. Fishing with the Squirrel, welcome. Catfishing Pappy, hey Pappy.
How's it going, Pappy?
I definitely think I would love to see catfish become a sport fish because you'd have limits on them. And there's LG Bass. Hey Tom. Hey
LG.
There's Valerie Irwin. Welcome, Valerie. There's not a whole lot of regulations on them as far as the size and how many you can keep. You know, you got places like the Potomac where they're trying to kill out the blues. People are they're just uneducated, and you know.
Well, you know, in the Potomac area, you've got your striped bass, you've got your largemouth bass, you've got your money fish, you got your blue crab, because let's face it, catfish, if it swims in the water, catfish will eventually try it, and they'll eat the smaller crabs. And so the money in that particular area is the stripers. So that's where they're going. That's where they're making regulations. And a lot of times it's to protect the money and not to protect the species.
Yeah. See right there from Seamus.
Mm-hmm.
DNR supposed to kill and eat the blues and flatheads. Yes, it is. And the sad thing about it is the James and the Potomac River both are still young. They are coming together, but they have not reached their full potential yet. Hey, Fins and Fines, they're still on their way up. People have not seen the biggest fish that those rivers will produce.
No.
There's still a lot out there, and you know, they didn't see a whole lot of fishing pressure. So the less fishing pressure you can keep on that area, and the more you can educate people, the better off your waterway is going to be. Just like the James. The James has a lot of shad. So you've got an abundant food source. So if you take a 5-pound blue and you stick him in the James, compared to taking that 5-pound blue and sticking him in another river that does not have as much shad population or food, the one in the James is going to grow almost 2 times quicker than the one with less food. You know, people don't take that into consideration with fish. The climate, the weather, how much fish food they have to eat, everything like that in a fish's environment.
The water conditions, how fast the current in the water, it's got to have the right bottom for them to mate and lay the eggs in. There's so many things, and that's where the James, we've talked to Epic a lot, so you kind of get the little understanding of that. You got to have the right genetics in the right waters to equal those big monster fish, and we're lucky that here in the rivers we have both of that. The James River gizzard shad, taking a page out of Haz's book. I call them James River gizzies, but there's some of them that are 20 inches long. They're huge football-sized gizzard shad. So they're abundant. They're everywhere. There's white perch. So there is constant food for those fish to, there's constant food source there for them. And the river itself has got lots of flats. It's got the right conditions for having a lot of breeding areas.
Yep. I see Dan's Creation made it in. Big Slim, Lizabella Kirkpatrick, KY Redneck Outdoors. Welcome, everybody. Twisted, you're exactly right. Bait can be overfished as well. I think they are starting to show some regulations on that, though, to try and slow down the bait that are be taken in certain areas. Dave Gachar, welcome. Catfish Kyle, welcome.
Everybody piling in.
Skin and Scales.
How's it going, Skins?
Fishing and Freedom, welcome.
Yeah, like here on the James Country Boy, there's regulations on the different shad. Like the American shad, you can have none in possession. Our hickory shad, which is very similar to the skipjack that other people have in other parts of the country, you keep them here on the James, but in other parts can't keep skipjack. The blue hair, the heron, and the alewives and things like that, you can't use them at all.
Yeah.
Because the populations, really, those are the heron and the alewives and that. They are actually, man, that's catfish candy there. They will just, they just love those. But they were the same thing. They were over between the fish eating them and people over harvesting them.
Yep.
Their numbers were down to nothing. So there's regulations in the James to help bring the numbers of those bait fish back up.
Yep. Bob, Fins and Fines, I need to get with you. I'm going to have to send you a message. My wife informed me the other day she wants a new metal detector for her birthday. So I don't know anything about them. I might get with you and shoot you a message and make sure I get her something that's going to work, going to last her. Hey, straight to the point. Welcome. Yeah, the James, it's just now coming up. Like I say, it has not reached its full potential. That river system, you will see several fish over the 100-pound range come out of that river.
I believe so, because between us and Green Machine, every month we've put multiple 50s. This year, every month we've had multiple 50s.
Yeah.
Some 60s. So, it's just a matter of time, and they're out there.
Hey, David Hamilton. Yeah, and as long as people practice the catch and release, as long as CPR stays alive, and you've got people doing that, them fish are going to continue to grow. They're going to get bigger, and they're going to get bigger. And not only the size of the fish, you're going to start seeing more numbers of fish. I always tell people, it doesn't matter what body of water you're fishing. Pay attention to the fish that you catch. If they're all full, just barrel full, they're getting plenty to eat, they're going to grow good, they're going to survive. If you catch them and, the fish has got a 10-pound head and a 5-pound body, there's not enough fish, there's not enough food in that water, that fish is struggling. Hey, Jeremy Allen, welcome.
We've talked about that a lot. I know I've heard you talk about it, Epic. When you catch a fish, there's so much more than just catching that fish. Look at that fish. Even for fishing that day, is there mud on it? If it's got a lot of mud on it, it's hugging down right there in the bottom. So keep your baits down close to the bottom. Like you said, the condition of the belly and the condition that it's in, there's a lot you can learn.
The color of the fish, you're going to know.
Color, yes.
If that fish has been staying in the deep water and just come up shallow, or he's been in the shallows and they're transitioning to the deep, you can learn a lot from every fish you catch and take that information and, build on it. That's just like bait. As well as I do. You can go out there one day and have shad, and man, that's all they want is shad. That's the only thing they'll hit, and they're just tearing the shad up. You can go out the very next day, and they won't touch the shad. They may hit bluegill or something else. Uh, catfish are constantly changing. They do change up just like we do. I mean, you don't eat fried chicken every night for dinner. I mean, you want a variety, and they do. They do times two, and you got to pay attention to what the fish are telling you. If you want to become a better angler, pay attention to what the fish are telling you. And I've seen a question I just missed. I'm going to go back and get it. Creole wants to know what the commercial pressure is like on the James.
Well, the James has the advantage that the James has, and the Potomac too, is they suggest not. Number one, they suggest not keeping. You're only allowed to keep one fish over 32 inches, I think it is, per day, and they recommend you only eat once a month from the. But so I usually don't keep anything from the James. So there is already that kind of notification. That's the upper James. Lower James, as it gets down closer to the, down close to saltwater, closer to the bay, I do believe there's some commercial netting and stuff that goes on down there. But
somebody's assassin made it in. Tiger Muskie, welcome, guys. Yeah, that's one thing that y'all have to deal with on your river systems and stuff that I don't down here. The only thing we deal with here is the guide services. Our lake was loaded with catfish for years, and you didn't have a whole lot of guides. There was no real fishing pressure for the catfish because everyone was too busy chasing the crappie, the walleye, the striper, hybrid, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Well, word got out about the catfish, and now you've got catfish guides on the lake. And I met with one, and I've been talking to them about catch and release and, not keeping everything they catch. And they not only take people out in the boat, they were taking people out noodling and stuff like that. And I'm like, guys, you gotta release the big ones, or you're fixing to outfish our waters. And you outfish these waters, you're going to have to go back to working for a living. There won't be nothing to guide anymore. And so I'm just kind of hoping they're going to be responsible and smart about it.
And even noodling, there's a bunch of different theories on that as far as how that affects the spawn and things like that. But even then, think about it. You're pulling them off the bed, off where they're spawning at. So of course it's going to have some effect on it.
Yep. Can you see that, Stan?
Catch, admire, release system.
Yeah.
I forget to take the pictures.
Matt, I can't say nothing. I do the same thing. Hey, Jason Lamb, welcome.
That's awesome.
I don't even think about it till I've already released the fish and stuff. And, you get caught up in the excitement in the moment. You catch that fish and you're wanting to get it back in the water, get your rod baited back up, get back out there. Because, with catfishing, it's feast and famine. You can be on it and the bite's on fire, and 30 minutes later, you can't beg a fish to take your rod down. So you got to get it while you can. And I think everyone gets caught up in the moment. The adrenaline's flowing, the excitement. And so I wouldn't be too hard on yourself, Matt. We all do it.
And speaking of size, that's one thing that I've really been focusing on lately, and something I've been kind of the saying I've been going with is that it's not the size of the fish, it's the size of the excitement that fish brings you.
Yep.
That I really truly believe in that, because I'll get excited catching a 5-pounder as a 50-pounder. They all mean something, and
exactly. And you can go with light and medium tackle and catch 5-pound catfish all day long and have a blast doing it. Hey, Mark, catfish and crappie. I don't downgrade anyone for the size of fish they catch. Uh, I go out and I know when I'm fishing, I don't care. I get out there, that fish is biting. You know, I enjoy catching the fish. It doesn't matter how big it is or how small it is. You know, I'm excited to have that experience. And, you know, sometimes, how many times have you been out on the water and man, you just like, man, I'd take a 2 pounder, just anything bite.
Mhm.
You know, we've all had days where we struggled to find the fish, get on the fish, and you know, a 2 pounder, you would be tickled to death, and you might have to fish, you know, 8 hours to catch that 2 pounder. But
Yep, yep. Well, you were talking about matching the tackle and things like that. Like I said, in the James, we all know that there's monsters out there, and there's also smaller ones. But what I try to do is I'll try to bring different things. So, like, if I'm going for bigger fish, this is my Akuma 450. It's got 50 pounds or 60-pound main line, but it's a my ugly stick big water.
yeah,
It's a heavy action. I've got set up to go heavy on that. So I've got that. That's what I'll usually put my bigger, either that whole shad or that big, huge shad head. And then next size down to like this is the Muddy River flathead rod. And that's you can catch just about anything on that, and you're gonna have fun with it. I also got the Muddy River, the medium one, and we've caught 50 some pounds on that, and we've caught 5-pounders on it, and you're having fun with both of them.
yeah,
And somebody just starting out, you can go to Walmart. You can get that $20 Walmart one. Our fun one that we like to use is the just a regular ugly stick.
yep,
I got Penn reels that they had on sale, Penn Warfares that we got on sale, and $50, $60, and you've got a combo that'll catch 60, 70 pounders.
yep,
And the big difference just going up from here, this is rated to 3.5 ounces or to 3 ounces. So you're going to have a little more difficulty when you're trying to chunk out a 4, 5, 6 ounce weight plus the size of that bait. Whereas like the next step up with the Muddy River, it's rated up to 10 ounces. So, you can put a good sized piece of meat on there, a 4 or 5 ounce sinker, and you've got it there. And then for the heavier action one, this one is actually rated up to this heavy action big game is rated up to 14 ounces.
yeah.
So it lets you throw a bigger bait, a bigger sinker, and gives you more backbone to control the fish and the bigger fish. So, I usually try to bring a variety out there, and I can target my sizes and still have fun.
Hey, Snake River, welcome. Catfish Hero, Sean. Hey, Sean T, welcome. Yeah, and guys, Catmandu made a great point. Not everyone lives near big fish waters.
Mm-hmm.
Be realistic. Don't get down on yourself because you come and you're watching guys on the Tennessee River go out and catch 30 and 40 pounders all day long. And then you go out and you're catching, 3 and 4 pounders. Not every body of water has the big fish. So, but you can still, if you don't have giant fish, you can still go with a light action rod or a medium action rod and go out there and catch fish and have a blast doing it. When we all first started fishing, it was a cane pole and we're catching bluegill and stuff. So just because there's not big fish in your water does not mean you cannot have a good time catching fish. It's fun.
Look, if the what's in your waters, I'm lucky that I live right here by the James. All the Potomac up in D.C. They got the Potomac. There's big monster fish there. The Tennessee River, Creole out there with the Mississippi. Some of the different lakes like Wheeler and whatnot. Not everybody, like you said, can be there. So, in some parts of the big fish in that river or that lake might be a 15-pound channel cat. Well, if that's the biggest fish that you've heard caught out of there and you catch a 12-pounder, guess what? That's the equivalent of catching like a 75 or 80-pound fish in a lot of these other waters. So, like you said, match the tackle to it and have a blast.
Yep. Hey, Larry, 3+1. Hey, Robbie. Aaron, Catfish Regulators, welcome, guys. Aaron's always got something to say. Trio, you're exactly right. Don't put down someone else's fish. They're having a great time catching that fish, and you should be too. See what he posted there, Stan?
Yep.
I'm not ashamed of it. And I go to the restaurants and stuff now, and they're like, "Do you want your citizen discount?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do."
Yeah, we do got some gray up here on the screen, don't we?
Yeah, but every one of them was a learning experience. I don't call it gray. I don't have gray hair. I have wisdom highlights.
There you go.
Every one of these is a tidbit of wisdom that I've learned. Hey, Lyle, welcome.
In my case, y'all have met my son already, so you know where these came from.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I don't ever get down on somebody. Hey, Alan, for the size of their fish. And the worst thing you can do, and I see it in these Facebook groups a lot, someone comes on, they catch a fish, and they're so excited about this fish, and people go in there and bash them about the size.
I use bigger bait than that, yeah.
Yeah, that's not something you want to do, guys. Don't kill people's excitement and their fun. Hey, Miss Amy, if just because that may not be what you go after, well, guess what? Not everybody is you. Do not, hey, Central Valley, do not ruin people's fun. Don't go around busting their bubbles. It does not make you a better person to go in and insult someone's fish and, ruin their day. It's actually the opposite.
No, matter of fact, what is better than watching somebody go out and work at fishing and they catch a 10-pounder, whatever it is, and they're excited. This is the biggest one I've caught. They're going to keep going. And guess what? Pretty soon it's going to be a 15-pounder, 20-pounder. Seeing that progression and seeing what they learn, I think that's one of the most awesome things that we can witness with somebody that's getting into our fishing culture, is seeing that growth and seeing how they go up from what's smaller sizes and keep learning and learn different places to fish and different baits and upgrade equipment and different things like that. And you never know what that person that a lot of us have done this for years and years. So we got things kind of stuck in our head a little bit. Well, that newer person that, they may think outside the box because they've never been in our box before. Yeah. And they may come up with the next revolutionary thing that you just don't know.
Yep.
So there's always something that we can learn from everybody.
Hey, Chris Hustleton, welcome. Robbie, the best advice I can give you is watch Palmetto, Kevin. Wherever Palmetto's fishing at, fish on the other side.
Shots fired by Country Boy.
I like to give Palmetto a hard time. I love Kevin. Robbie, if you're trying different things, try different areas. Make sure you're not fishing the same area of the water. Try different depths, as well as different baits. And sometimes it's as simple as presentation. Try different rigs. Anything like that sometimes makes a big difference. I experiment between the Carolina rig, the Santee Cooper rig. Uh, I know a lot of guys use like a dropper rig. You'd be surprised the difference presentation makes.
But
So, you know,
it's funny you bring that up, Country Boy, because I just so happen to have one of my favorite rigs right here that a lot of people don't give credit, and that's just a regular old school dropper rig. Well, if especially in the summertime, where Robbie is down there, how many times have we seen Palmetto pull in a ball of weeds?
yeah,
Well, you can use this dropper rig, just the ordinary dropper rig.
yeah,
But now I'm fishing. If you can set that top hook, you can set that hook as high up as you want. So if you've got 2 or 3 feet of weeds down there on the bottom, you can set that top hook to 3 feet up from the sinker, and you're going to be fishing up above that. Where in the summertime, we all know they come up off the bottom a little bit.
yeah.
So that's a real simple rig to tie. It's been around forever. It's probably caught more fish than any other rig out there, but that's something else. Sometimes it's just in the summertime, the times that you go fishing change. The bite windows change.
A lot of times in the summertime, in the dog days of summer when it's really hot, night fishing can be your best. One thing you also have to look for as that water temperature warms up and stuff is watch for your thermocline. Pay attention to your thermocline and make sure you're not fishing in the thermocline.
Yeah, and if you're doing bank fishing, a lot of times, like Country Boy was saying, the night bite is where you're going to be at, because they'll be in the deeper waters in the daytime, and then as it cools off at night, they'll come up out of the deep holes, up on the ledges, and up into the shallows, and feed, and then go back down. So another thing, I know you're younger, but the Facebook, you can look at the Santee Cooper Facebook groups. Try to see what anybody's posting, what they're using for bait, where they're fishing, where they're catching. You can also contact local bait shops. A lot of times they'll pass that information out to you because, let's face it, they want you to catch fish, so you come and buy bait. And I've learned a lot of things from bait shops. So
yep. See, Twisted. Summertime is often not the time to fish bottom in lakes. I still have good luck on bottom, Twisted. It's just where I'm fishing at. I'll get up in the very, very shallow water. There's lots of brush and sticks, and I'm fishing in some nasty stuff. You're going to lose tackle. I've had fish break me off because they've got wrapped up in the stumps and the sticks and the trash. It's just going to happen. But you can still catch them on the bottom. I see Miss Amy Payne. She's going to fish Santee Cooper this month.
I think that's that guided trip that they want, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Well, I hope y'all have a blast with that, Amy. We're waiting to see it. We can't wait to see that. That would be awesome.
Hey, Brad Caudell.
Definitely, Robbie, and let us know how you do. We always love seeing and hearing how you're doing, how other people are doing. I love when people are posting, I caught this or I caught that.
Well, and I give lots of respect for Robbie, and I would do anything in the world to help him, because you do not see young people like that are not into the video games and stuff. He's out there. He's got a passion for the sport, and I love it. And when I see somebody out there like that, I will do anything in my power to help support them and help them get ahead to where that they are successful and they keep chasing that dream.
Well, it's funny you should bring that up, Country Boy. Great minds think alike, because fishing, Evan TV, who was just in the Finesse tournament,
yes,
was tied for first, but No Real Lost Becks had more weight on the fish, so he ended up taking second place. And you know me with second place, I got to support it. So he's going to be on my guest this Friday night at 8 o'clock. So Evan TV, another young man that's doing the YouTube and.
Yeah, and I love seeing these youngsters fishing in these tournaments and stuff, and getting them involved. It's great to watch, but the ladies too, guys. I'm a sucker for women and children. Women and children. I watch them fish. I watch them catch a fish. I watch their excitement. I'm a sucker for it. I can't help it. I love it. I like watching it. I wish them all the best luck in the world. And, I catch a lot of slack because in my lives and stuff, I tell people exactly where I'm fishing, why I'm fishing there, what bait I am. And, they're like, man, you're giving people your spots. Well, I want them to be able to come out there to the spot that I'm fishing, and they can go out there and try the same thing I'm doing. I want them to catch fish. I want them to be successful. I'm not just on YouTube for entertainment purposes. I'm here for education. I want you to learn. I want you to develop. I want you to become more confident in yourself and your angling abilities. And that's what I'm here for. It's not just educational or just for enjoyment. Hey, Uncle Lou.
Uncle Lou's in the house. How's it going? Robbie, that's awesome. Robbie says he's trying to save up money for a John boat he can fix up and use as his boat.
That's awesome, Robbie.
Make sure you always follow safety. Go with some people first that can teach you some of the boater safety regulations and life vest and where you can go. And
if anyone's new in here and they don't know who Uncle Lou is, if you see our rigs where we're using the Demon Dragon style floats or the peg floats and rattles and hooks and stuff like that, check out Uncle Lou's on Facebook. That's where we're getting them, guys. Hey, Cody Robinson. If any of my moderators are in here, if y'all could post Uncle Lou's link.
The beads, the rattles.
Yep.
Floats.
I love Uncle Lou's hooks. And also Brad Caudell, guys, he makes weights. You can get your weights from him. I know when I get to actually fish, I'm not working so much. Me and my wife go through the sinkers. Yep.
These are Uncle Lou swivels. We really like those. They've been working out great for your three-way rigs and
exactly. I bought several things from him. I've never had an issue with any of them, and I love the hooks and stuff. They're just phenomenal products, and I like people like Brad Caudell and Uncle Lou that are in our catfish community. Because we can go, they come in, they watch our shows, they watch our live streams, they support us, and it gives us a chance to go back and support them. Hey, Paul Frick.
Robbie, that's awesome. That is awesome, Robbie.
See, Uncle Lou right there. Just put in another order for weights from Brad. Yeah. Yeah,
the price to the quality is awesome.
Fishing with Robbie, it's Uncle Lou's is on Facebook. If you look him up on Facebook, you can find it there. Man, and his planer boards. From the first time I seen his planer board, I fell in love with them things. He does some great work.
Robbie, I have Brad's link in all of my descriptions in any of the videos or lives, and I also have Uncle Lou's link in all the descriptions.
That's right, Brad. Hey, Ram Diaz, welcome.
One thing I wanted to bring up before, and it's just a side, it's kind of out of fishing a little bit, But everybody knows I love my Mountain Dew. But when it's hot out like it's this time of year, especially we're getting up a little bit there.
Yeah.
This is what a lot of people don't see me all the time. Even though I've got my Mountain Dew, I always have a few of these with me too. So
yeah, that's very important. That's one thing to remember, guys. Especially if you're fishing in the daytime during the summer and the heat, stay hydrated. Uh, you would not believe how quick it can suck it out of you, and you don't want to get heat exhaustion or have a heat stroke. You got to stay hydrated. And I know a lot of people, they drink the Gatorade and stuff. And guys, that's fine, but you still got to mix water in it. If you drink just straight Gatorade, you're still going to dehydrate very rapidly. Hey, Justin Fishing Fetish,
yeah.
Gatorade, it's got lots of sodium in it. It will still dehydrate you. Hey, Lee Evans.
Yeah, there is nothing better than we've all seen that Adam Sandler, the high quality H2O. There's nothing better.
Yep. And your body needs it. A little bit of water can go a long way. Yeah,
2-to-1 ratio. There you go.
caffeine drinks actually dehydrate the body faster. Yeah, you're exactly right, Creole.
But like I said, that's why I always got my water with me, and you'll see me with both.
Yeah, Lance, sweet tea is my weakness. I am a sucker for sweet tea. I can't help it. I love sweet tea, and man, I can drink that things by the gallon.
I saw Matt before said he's coming to Virginia to fish this month, so I may get a chance to get and meet him. That would be awesome.
Yeah, we plan on doing some more traveling. I'm bad about not taking vacation and stuff, and my wife has informed me that I need to start using my vacation time and start going out and doing stuff. Uh, I'm looking forward to the special CatCon event in KC, and I plan on going to it, and I plan on hitting the one in Kentucky also. And I'm kind of looking. We went and looked at some new trucks. I'm gonna buy my wife a new pickup, and that way she can drive me around when we go on these trips.
Yeah, I was going to get to that, Aaron. Well, Matt said he's heading there to the 19th and staying to the 23rd. All right.
Yep.
But Aaron brought up the 7-to-7. Excuse me, the 7-to-7 from the bank tournament. The first one is going to be on the 20th, and that's on Rebecca's hosting it that night on her channel. You're going to see people, myself, Brian B is in it. I think Dan's Creation is fishing in it. I think Jeremy's Tournament Cats. Who else? Oh, Willie Dobson is fishing in it. There's a couple more. And then the second one is going to be the 27th, and that one's going to be on my channel. And we've got that one full too. If there is more people interested, we may do a third night, but it's basically 7 p.m. at night to 7 a.m. in the morning. You're allowed 3 rods. Have fun fishing from the bank. It's just a simple bunch of friends getting together and see who catches the biggest, the most, and the smallest fish.
I'm hoping by then I'm not working 7 days a week and I'm not working so many hours so I can pop in and watch. I love watching the tournaments and stuff. I hope to get this work schedule a little more regulated. Like I say, if they can just get me down to where I'm doing 60 hours a week, that would be fine with me. Do my Monday through Friday and do my 12-hour shifts and have my weekends off. I would love to start getting in and fishing some of these tournaments and stuff. I really love watching them. I love, the camaraderie, everyone in there having a good time, giving each other a hard time. Hey, Miss Christy Brown,
Hey, Uptown Christy Brown, how you doing tonight? Great to see you.
is hooked up.
Great to see Hooked Up back in the houses again.
Yep. Uh, you know, guys, fishing is a great sport, and we need to be professional about it, be courteous to people, not discourage them. Let's encourage everybody, and we want the sport to grow. Uh, you know, we, the world is full of haters. We don't need to add to it. Let's help support people. Uh, and guys, uh, y'all
That's
know
right.
my yep, y'all know my Facebook and everything else. You can email me. You can contact me on Facebook anytime you have a question. I do not mind helping out, answering questions. I do my best to try and make sure that I respond to everybody because that's what I'm here for, guys. Uh, you always heard the old saying, people would say knowledge is power. Well, that's only part right. It's what you do with the knowledge that makes it empowering. Uh, you know, if you have knowledge and you don't share it with anybody else, nobody really benefits from it but you. So let's do our best to try and help each other and help others. Uh,
That's right. Justin's fishing fetish. I encourage everyone except those dang ditch pickle dudes.
yeah,
except except for LG Bass. He's awesome.
Yeah, there is a lot of bass fishermen out there, guys. We can still share the water with them. We can still be courteous. Uh, you know, it's even with the boat traffic. The boat traffic seems to be a big deal. You watch, and it seems like all the respect and common courtesy on the water has gone. But getting mad and yelling and screaming at them is not going to fix anything. You're just going to make it worse. If you can talk to people and kind of educate them, and talk calmly, and you'd be surprised what you can do. Because a lot of guys, you have a lot of new anglers out there, new boat owners. They don't understand. You know, to them, they're just out there having a good time. They're not doing it on purpose. Most of the time, they just don't think about it.
Right.
You know.
Well, and the one thing with pleasure boaters is most of them probably have never fished a day in their life, so they have no idea what you're doing on the bank.
Yep.
To them, it's strange that somebody's got some poles sitting there, some sticks sitting there, and you're sitting there watching sticks. They don't realize that you might be 100 yards out there or further. They think that being 50 or 60 feet off the bank, they think they're fine. But just look at the courtesy in today's day and age. It's not being taught, so people tend to not have it, and so we got to be a little patient and do the best we can.
I was watching Has Life one night, and they were fishing near a boat ramp, and the boat put in and drove right into his lines. I mean, all of them. And he hollered at them, and they threw it in reverse. And luckily, they didn't get his lines all wrapped up in the prop and destroy everything. But guys, always pay attention and try and be respectful and courteous to other fishermen. My wife, I drive her nuts because I'll be going to a spot, and if there's somebody fishing in that spot, I will move to another spot, even though there's areas around them open. I don't like to crowd people. I don't want to go in there. I know enough places I can go somewhere where there's not somebody, and be respectful of each other. Don't crowd people. You going by and people are fishing on the bank and you're in a boat, back out of the throttle. Same thing with other boats on the water. Them rivers and them lakes are wide. You don't have to pass 10 foot from that boat doing Mach 90 and, about capsize the boat. You're exactly right, Paul.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. I was out one time, and the winds got up, and I watched three guys sink three different boats in the exact same spot, doing the exact same thing on the exact same day. I thought, man, if you sit and you watch this guy, something should tell you that's not a good idea, but they didn't. It was like one of them 70 car pileups you see where everybody just runs into everybody. Hey, Pins and Foul, Brent, Fishing Local 336. Welcome, guys. Uh, you know, it's sad to say, and I'm not being rude, guys, but, I tell people this, and common sense is not a flower that grows in everyone's garden anymore. Uh, so, you kind of got to try and be understanding. And instead of getting mad and irate, let's try and help educate them. Education goes a long way, guys. And most of these people, they're not doing it on purpose. They just have no idea. And until someone tells them, they're not going to know. Hey, Robert Andrews, welcome. It's just like I tell my wife, if I do something that upsets her and I ask her what's wrong and she just says nothing, I'm like, you can't just say nothing. You have to let me know what's going on, because if you don't tell me, I don't know that I'm doing something wrong, and I'm gonna keep doing it over and over again. And you're gonna spend many years of our lives together where you're gonna be mad at me for something I have no idea what's going on. So just go ahead and let's get it out there and get it over with.
That is a good for all of us married folk. That is a good analogy right there, country boy.
Yeah, I see guys talking about how DNRs and boaters don't care for the bank fishermen. So,
Matt, and I saw your comment up there about my laugh. So hopefully she comes with you. That'll be nice.
It's great if you have a woman that will fish with you. My wife is probably one of my favorite fishing partners, even though she will not get on the camera yet, and she tries to stay hid. I know she's going to snag up. I know she's going to break off, and I'm baiting her hook, taking the fish on and off. It seems like work sometimes, but I love it, and I would much rather have her there than not, because we're still spending time together, and that's what it's all about. I'm lucky enough to have a wife that loves to fish. If I even mention fishing, she is geared up, ready to go. Some guys are not that lucky. When they mention fishing, they get an earful from their wives. So,
my wife is, please go ahead, get on out of here.
Yeah. And it's great to have that support. They tell you guys, and I know y'all have heard this, but behind every great man is a great woman. And that's very true, because you got to have support. You got to have that support system. It makes a world of difference. And
yeah, my wife we used to hunt and fish together all the time. She used to go deer hunting when we were younger, and squirrel hunting, rabbit hunting, bird hunting. And you talk about we were talking before about people just starting out and then learning things. Well, the first time we were going pheasant hunting, we were out there in the fields, nothing. We're leaving down the dirt road, and we get right out to where towards the beginning, getting to the main road. And I'd be danged if this pheasant didn't come right out in front of us. She goes to grab the net and get out of the truck to run up and try to catch it.
Yeah.
She thought she was going to catch that pheasant with a net, but yeah, she lately past years, she's had some health issues and stuff, so when it's the moderate temperatures, like in the fall, she likes to go out, or the spring where it's maybe in the 60s and it's not too hot.
Yeah.
She likes to go out there, but when it's hot like this, it's just too much.
Yeah, Paul, you're exactly right there. Sometimes with the wife and kids, it is work, but it's well worth it. Hey, Mike Irvin, welcome. My wife is kind of, if you're catching fish and she's not, she's ready to move. But you can be out there and she can be catching fish and you're not. She's content to sit there all day long. But if you're catching them and she's not, you're going to move, or it's time to go to the house, especially if it's hot out.
Does anybody? Yeah, I saw that. Anybody in tech? Yeah. Ernie, got to watch it.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions for either of us? You gotta love the Browns, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best to try and keep it at an hour, guys, because I get up and leave the house at 4 o'clock in the morning. So if anyone has any questions, hey Alicia, welcome. Go ahead and ask them. I don't want you to go away with questions, but we spent probably 45 minutes looking for his hammers, he said.
And the whole other thing with bait, if you haven't tried live bait, or if you can't catch shad with the cast net, and some states you can't use the cast net, try bluegill, try different things like that if you can. And whatever you see on YouTube, always check to make sure, even if that person did it in your state, make sure that you check your regulations on the water that you're fishing, because what might be legal right down the road might be illegal where you're at. So
yep.
Always check that. Yeah.
It can be one riverbank to the other. Brad, I actually have two favorites, but in the spring, when it's first starting to warm up and the fish are coming out of the deep holes and the cold water, they come up shallow to feed, pre-spawn, can be a fantastic time. You catch a lot of big fish then. They're moving, they're active. And then also in the fall. In the fall of the year, when the water temperature starts dropping, things start cooling off a lot. You'll see a lot of bigger fish start moving. Guys, big fish are kind of like people, and when you're big like I am, overweight and stuff, when it's hot, you tend not to move a lot. You want to stay put. You want to try and stay cool, and the big fish do the same thing. Uh-oh. I just sent an autistic kid on YouTube Live in the Philippines. Yep, that's awesome, Sunfish.
Yeah. My favorite season is probably the winter, because here in the James, that's when your biggest fish are going to be moving. Spring is great too. Even the summer's good. It's just the bite windows seem to be a lot more limited in the summertime than they are the rest of the year around me.
Yep.
So you got to learn to fish the different bite windows. And with Justin, that would be awesome. That was the problem we were going through with Roger and them when they came. I'll have to check and see what we can come up with, but depends on when you're coming.
Chris from Hooks and Hammock made it in, and Whisker and Stripes. Hey guys, welcome. I'm glad y'all made it, but we're about to end this thing so I can get off here and get some sleep, get ready for work. The start of the fall bite. You'll know when the water temperatures start dropping, and you'll see the fish spending more and more time up in the shallow waters. Uh, when it's cooler like that, they feed for a longer period of time. Uh, a lot of the times, you can catch fish all day long. You don't have just a certain bite window because the fish are up, they're moving, they're active, and it's like people in a mall. You'll have people leave and people come in, and you can sit in one spot and get on a lot of fish.
Yeah, that's probably when you start seeing that bite window extending out to different times of the day. Basic sign is when the fish, you notice, especially if you're in a boat and you start not noticing fish in their summer holes, and you start seeing them in different places during different times of the day. That's usually a good indication to start looking for those fall spots.
Hey, Paul Lil.
Well, bring it on, Alicia. We're going for it. We'll target that small fish.
Hey, Jay Fox Hunter. Welcome, guys. Well, guys, I appreciate everybody coming in here. Stan, I appreciate you coming on. I love having you as a guest. I wish we had more time. This is probably the first time I've ever done an hour stream. But I know I got to get some rest and get ready for work.
Yep.
Like I said,
everybody knows, Country Boy, we could get together and talk for hours, all night about fishing. So
I love it. And I'm probably going to get in trouble when I go to Kansas City because Epic is there. And he's going to be doing a seminar. And I'm going to get to talk to him, and I'm going to get going, and my wife will probably whip a couple of new knots on my head by the time it's over.
That's why I can't
drag me out of there.
I can't wait for CatCon in Kentucky next year. Same thing. But I want to say, Country Boy, I want to say from congratulations on your growth and the show that you do every Wednesday. You know, it wasn't far back where you were like, how do I turn this thing on? And now you're doing amazing. The information that you put out, the help that you're giving everybody, keep doing what you're doing. I was so happy for you that, I love this kind of thing. So
I appreciate it. I'm still trying to learn. I had help. My wife helped me create a Facebook page. And I'm trying to, I know you can take your videos and stuff from YouTube and you can post them to your Facebook. I haven't figured that out yet. Thumbnails, guys. It does not seem to matter what I do on my thumbnails. I resize them and try and get them to the perfect size. And it always cuts my borders off, or it may take me 5 times to get that to where everything fits in the thumbnail. But it's a work in progress. I am trying to figure it out. And, yep. I'm gonna try and hit both of them. I'm gonna hit the one in Kansas City in November, and I'm also gonna come to the one in Kentucky. And I'm really excited because to get to go to these events and meet everybody that we've talked to and seen on YouTube. To me, it's very exciting and rewarding. Because I can sit down one-on-one. You put faces to names, and that always helps. And I'll have plenty of vacation, so I'm saving it for those events. And of course, we're big history nuts into the Civil War. And my wife loves to metal detect, and I'll have to stop on the way home and let her do some of her stuff. But, that's a fair trade. I'll trade that to be able to go.
Well, Country Boy, I know we're trying to get out of here. I just got a couple things. This Friday, Evan TV is on my show. Of course, Stand Day Sunday morning. Bob's, you were mentioning the metal detecting and stuff. Y'all check out Fins and Finds. He's getting up there, getting to that 900 mark, wants to hit that 1,000. Another thing with Fins and Finds on September 18th is the Fish a Wish tournament that he's sponsoring.
Yes.
All money raised is going to go to Make-A-Wish Foundation. He's got a Facebook page out there about that. Some of the anglers fishing in that, I think it's Mark from Catfish and Crappie, I believe, is doing it. Elston might do it. Has Live, Fishing Magician, I think Ryan Bortz, Palmetto Cats. Of course, you'll see me, Two Stat, doing it also. A couple other anglers I think I forgot, but that's going to be just a great tournament. We got, like I said, 7 to 7 from the bank. It's just going to be in the overnight, 7 p.m. to 7 in the morning. You'll see a bunch of us fishing that. And the great thing about that one is it's a lot of people that you don't normally see live fishing. So that'll be a lot of fun too.
Yeah. And, you know, that fishing tournament with Bob, Fins and Pines, that is a great cause. So anything we can do to support that and help them out is just tremendous. I have a lot of respect and a lot of admiration, and it's a great cause.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody, I appreciate everybody coming in here, guys. I can't say thank you enough. Two stands fishing, guys. I appreciate everybody, and we will catch everybody in here again next week, same time. We'll be here. I'll figure out a guest later this week and get it lined up, and I'll get it posted out. But if you don't see me in the chats like I was before, guys, it's just because I'm working insane hours. I'm working like a sled dog, and but hopefully, like I say, in the near week or two, I'll get back down to where I can do like 60 hours a week and make it a little bit more manageable. Night, everybody, and have a great evening.
Great seeing everybody.